Because the first thing they think is, how can I help you? How can I send you money? But to me, that's not the right thing.
Welcome to More Than an Inmate's Girlfriend. I'm your host, Jay, and you guys, this week is kind of a unique episode in that normally we interview loved ones of those that are incarcerated. This week, we are interviewing someone who is incarcerated. He goes by Bars and Redemption, and he has come on today to speak on prison relationships from his perspective. So his experiences. And not only that, but we have Big Steve from PenPals.buzz, who has come on today to introduce Bars and Redemption and speak a little bit about his website, but also his podcast, where he interviews people that are on his website and he gives them the opportunity to kind of say their story and whatnot. I love his podcast. I think it's hilarious. I highly recommend it. So he's coming on first to introduce Bars and Redemption, then we'll get into Bars and Redemption's episode. Before that, I wanted to let you guys know that this Saturday, May 17th at 6:30 p.m. Central, I will be going on TikTok Live. Official, who is the woman that was in the past 2 episodes, she will be joining me on TikTok Live to answer any questions you might have about her episode, but also the podcast. It's the first time we're doing this. I've never done a TikTok Live in my life. I don't even know how to get there, but we'll figure it out. So we would appreciate the love and support. Please come hang out with us. So again, this Saturday, May 17th, 6:30 p.m. Central. Mark your calendars. Put your notification in your phone, come hang out with us and ask any questions that you might have. So yeah, that's it. I am going to let you get into the episode because I don't want to take any more of your time. So I hope you enjoy it, and I hope to see you on Saturday on TikTok Live. Yay! Oh, and don't forget to follow the show. And that's it. Enjoy! Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm so excited to finally get the chance to talk to you.
I'm excited too, man. I think we've been binging each other's podcasts.
I think so.
It's great to bring us both together on one speaker is fantastic.
Yeah. So can you tell everybody who you are for those that don't know? Because you're right, I've been binging. I know all about you.
Certainly. So I'm Big Steve, and I founded a website called penpals.buzz a couple of years ago. And we also have a prison pen pal podcast, which can be found at penpalpodcast.com or on our site at penpals.buzz. Yeah, I'll give you a little background just of my story and how I ended up on 2 prison podcasts now. I was locked up myself for 11 years. I got out in 2018. And during those 11 years, I used every inmate services company that ever advertised in prison legal news. I mean, I had myself addressed envelopes, and I signed up for every pen pal site known to man. And ultimately, I ended up writing in those 11 years probably hundreds of people, and ended up meeting my now wife on one of the sites. I'm not sure which one, interestingly. But through that process, I learned so many of the companies. I don't want to name names, but the customer service was horrible. You'd send your money and you wouldn't hear back. Sometimes it would take a year to actually get some response back. And a lot of times 3 or 4 or 5 months was somewhat common to get any kind of response. And when I got out, I thought, you know what, I want to do this better. I want to, have great customer service and have a faster turnaround and treat our customers like human beings, not like inmate numbers. I mean, they just treat you like crap, when you're in there. And they treat everybody like they're trying to scam the system and trying to rip people off. And I know some do. And I know, you've talked about that a bit, but the majority really don't. And we have a couple thousand members who are, there's a few bad ones in the bunch, but the majority are decent, good people. And so we wanted to treat them like that. There's this misconception that a pen pal site is all about dating and relationships, and that is for some people, but we want to really focus on the friendship aspect based on the studies that are out there that inmates that have a pen pal, they're less likely to reoffend. The prison assessments that are done in the prison, they want you to have positive social influences in your life, and we've led to lots of marriages and romance, but I'd say 80% are just really good friends that we're bringing together. And then maybe that turns into something, maybe it doesn't.
Yeah.
So.
I love how you said that because I was listening to some of your episodes. I remember this girl, I think her name was Amy, and she had like a dozen. She's like a marketer for a
Yeah.
cannabis company, and she had all these people, and she's like, I just wanted to reach out to them and be their friend and like totally platonic and just guide them and help them because she worked in cannabis and whatever. And I was like, wow, that's
Yeah,
so
and she was an intelligent, college-educated woman. She was a marketing executive, and yeah, she wrote a dozen inmates who all had kind of low-level marijuana charges, and some of them were grossly over-sentenced for that.
Yeah.
For an ounce of marijuana, you end up with 20 years or something. But really interesting people that you come across for sure.
Yeah. When did you actually start penpal.buzz? Like the site?
We started in, let's see, I think it was around June of 2023, so it's been just about 2 years.
And do you love doing it?
I love it. I love knowing how many people I'm helping, and I'm helping not just the incarcerated people, but I'm helping people that are in the free world that for whatever reason in their life, they can really benefit as well from having a pen pal inmate.
Yeah.
It's a hell of a lot of work, though. I think people that are out there, they think, I'm just going to set up a pen pal site and I'll make millions of dollars and it'll be easy. I mean, we're here all the time. I mean, it's 7 at night. I'm still here. I'll probably be here at 10 tonight, you know. Wow. So it's a lot of work. So if anyone else that's thinking, oh, we can compete with Big Steve, I'd suggest you don't. It's just too much work. You'll hate it.
And where did you get the best idea ever to start a podcast and interview the people that you are showcasing on your site?
Years ago, many years ago, I was a radio guy. Back when DJs were actually DJs on the radio and things were live and radio was fun. I don't know how old you are if you'd even remember those days, but we had a lot of fun on the radio, and I missed that a lot. And the last radio show I did was in 2008, and I always just wanted to find a way to combine kind of that aspect. It was like part of my life for so many years. And then I thought, you know what? You can see these profiles, you can see the pictures, and there's some sites that'll play little short videos, or you see the videos on TikTok or whatnot. But how cool is it to actually spend 10 or 15 minutes and hear this person's story? And I wanted to humanize these people they're hated by so many people in society. You go on social media, people want inmates just all to be murdered and killed and hung and shot and whatever, you know, and I want to just show that there's another side to everybody, and there's good in a lot of these people that you might be judging without even hearing what they have to say.
Yeah. I remember when I was listening to one of your episodes and you were talking to this guy who like killed a random woman in Connecticut. And I was like, oh my gosh. And then he's talking and describing what happened and how he felt and all this stuff. And I'm like, I would have never messaged this person in my life, but you gave him that opportunity to kind of like plead his case and show his character a little bit more. So he probably got that increased likelihood of someone talking to him because his crime from the outside. And I did Google him after, to be fair.
Yeah, it's quite a story, right?
I know.
It's quite a story.
Shocked. Yeah. But you really did give him that humanity. So I really feel like this whole thing that you're doing is really working because at the end of the day,
Thank you.
A lot of people that are just people and make mistakes or suffer from different things.
I hate to say it. People think even my wife, she gets on me when I play some of these podcasts and she's like, what the hell? Because she even met me on a pen pal site and she judges. But I mean, I hate it when I'm like, yeah, this guy, he was like very polite and respectful to me and just seems like a normal guy, but he stabbed a woman and on a hiking trail or whatever. Yeah. And it's hard to put those two things to think somebody that could be kind, that somebody that talks to his mother every night on the phone goes out and murders someone on a park trail. It's very, what would you call it? It just messes with your mind for sure.
Do you vet people? Or is anybody allowed that signs up for your website? Is allowed?
No, everybody's allowed. There's so much discrimination based on certain crimes and whatnot. We never want it to be like that, but they pay to be on the site. So there's that part. But if they want to be on the site, they can be. We just make sure if someone's saying they're in for a nonviolent drug crime and they're in for murder, then we just make sure we have the right information in their profile. We don't want to mislead anybody A lot of people are looking for, we have a death row section. A lot of people want to write people that have maybe more serious crimes that might not get out. Some people think that's safer for them. They don't have to worry that the person will get out. So, yeah, we give everybody a chance.
Yeah.
Treat everybody the same. I don't give discounts to more solid crimes or anything like that.
Well, that's good to hear. It's funny you say that because when I messaged my husband, it was purely for like, not research, but I was curious to talk to someone who might have more time on their hands to research things and read more and whatever. And I was trying to look for some bigger, deeper answers of life. And I purposely made sure it was someone who, like, when I was looking on Write a Prisoner, sorry, I didn't know your site existed. I made sure it was life because I was scared. I was like, no way. Like, I don't want someone to come out and kill me. So I'm just going to make sure that they're sentenced to life. And then here I am.
That only backfires when you end up marrying that person, right?
Exactly.
Or then you can't be with them.
Tricked me.
But I always just thought it would be more interesting. I mean, if I were to write a woman in prison, say, the letters in my mind would be so much more interesting, someone with a serious crime versus a shoplifter or someone that had marijuana. Yeah. I'd want to know what was going on in their head and hear some of the, if I wanted to write like a petty theft person, I could just find someone like that on, Match or somewhere.
You'd be surprised how many people we've interviewed that met their person on Plenty of Fish. It's crazy.
I bet. Yeah.
So the person that you're introducing today, and the reason why we had you on, was we actually met you through a individual who is currently incarcerated. So can you talk to me a little bit about Luis and how you met him?
Yeah, Luis, he found our website and messaged us and wanted to join the site. He actually was one of our last lifetime members. We had a pretty sweet deal where you could join for lifetime for a good price. And he started talking to us, wanted to be on the podcast, wanted to help us. And when we first started talking, the first thing that jumped out about him was he just had such a better attitude than most of the people we work with. He didn't play the victim. He was always looking forward and thinking positive. We talked, we got him on the podcast. He's written a few really great blogs on our site as well. And one's called How to Support Someone in Prison, Tips for Meaningful Communication. They're not just what you'd expect where it would be like an inmate writing, how to support me, send me commissary, send me money. It was almost the person on the street's perspective. He did a really good job balancing the pros and cons of all of it. We added him to the site within like a month. He had 39 messages that came just through our site. And I know other people messaged him directly or wrote to him snail mail or whatnot. So I know he got a lot of people. His profile's amazing. His pictures are great, like everything. I thought he was just a genuine guy, and we've kept in touch. It's been about 6 months, I think, since he joined.
Oh, wow. I love it because he was one of the first people probably that I spoke to that was currently incarcerated. And he gave such a different perspective, like you said. I remember, and people will hear his interview after we speak to you, but he was so insightful. He was so thoughtful when he spoke. I remember asking him about like where he learned everything that he learned, and it's like books. And he said books, and he recognized, that there was more to life and you needed to grow to be the next person. And he was just super, super honest. And I find he really helps to try and break that stigma of people that are incarcerated, like you said, being scammers or have negative intentions.
Yeah. No, I was really surprised. And it's funny you mentioned books, because he mentioned that for all the years he's been locked up, he's used a lot of the books to prisoners programs that are out there, and had just read tons of things, and said he actually had met someone that turned into a pen pal that used to be a volunteer at one of those books to prisoners sites. So I thought that was great. They were just friends or whatnot, but he really has a different perspective. He genuinely wants inmates to succeed, not fail. And just saying things like send them the gift of knowledge. Don't just send love letters. They don't need so many love letters and so much negativity. Just keep it real, keep them motivated. Don't play into the pity party, that type of stuff that I think so many people tend to, oh, I'm so sorry that happened. That's so awful, but focus on moving forward instead of backwards.
Yeah. Yeah, and I love also how he loves to connect people. He's just always so like, hey, I saw this person, you might want to do this or whatever. He's just always just so helpful. And you know how there's so much competition in the world and like people,
Right.
he doesn't have that. And I think that's just personality growth, but it also just shows just how there are really good people that are behind bars, and a lot of people just automatically go to negative. And here's this guy that I've never even met, lives in a different state, and he's trying to help us promote our podcast, and he's trying to connect us with all these people, and he's trying to give us all these great ideas, and it's constantly doing that, and it's genuine. Like, he's not trying to get anything from us. He's never asked. He's never, like, it's just so, just genuinely, I want to help you and I believe in you.
Yeah, at first I hadn't known him as well, and like the first day he messaged us, he was volunteering to take over all of our social media and run our Instagram and our Facebook, and I'm thinking like, man, this would be great, but I don't know this guy, but now that I do, I'm like, maybe we could do that, because he just wanted to help us and I guess help you and help everybody. I really appreciated that, and just total gentleman. I mean, polite, which sometimes we don't always run into in our line of work.
Yeah, I think you more than me, but
why didn't I get any messages? Why are you scamming me?
Oh no, that's true. That would happen.
You guys must be a scam. A lot of people just assume they're going to get scammed. Yeah. I think because of how a lot of these companies treat people in prison. But we're good. We're honest.
So where do you go from here? I mean, you've got the website, you've got the podcast. Do you have any other future plans, or is this what you're focused on right now?
This is what we're focused on right now. We had a site called Inmate Blogger, which we're kind of winding down. It was an amazing site. It's still out there, inmateblogger.com, but it was too much work, and we were not really able to focus on the PenPal side as much as we needed to. So we're focused on this. We want to just keep growing. At some point, we would love to find a way to interlink penpals.buzz with the JPays and Securises of the world so that messages can be more easily sent and received.
Right.
That's a struggle for a lot of people, and some of these systems are pretty rough. So we're just trying to work with some of these companies and maybe come up with a way to facilitate that communication, make it easier for everybody.
Awesome. And can you give us again what the site is called, and if someone wanted to sign up their friend who's incarcerated, what do they do?
So penpals.buzz, which is BUZZ, and if they would like to sign up, they can order on our website. There's a link at the top that says add an inmate, and we have a couple different pricing plans. It starts at $45 for a year. They can also order by phone. 888-2-PenPal is our number.
Nice.
Or we have other options too. They can email help@penpals.buzz, and we can talk about Venmo or other options for payment.
That's awesome. And that's during the week? Is it like during business hours?
Yeah, so we're here 10 to 6 Pacific time, Monday through Friday.
Awesome.
And then I'm checking email all the time too, so they can email me at 3 a.m. My wife doesn't like that, but whatever.
And if someone wanted to come on the podcast and talk to you, has something interesting that they'd like to pitch you, do they use that same contact?
Yeah, it would be great. It's always great to have new guests, new people. So you can email either that help address or podcast@penpals.buzz will go right to me. And and I'd love that. Just tell me your story and let's get you on, man. Let's share your story with all 5 of our listeners now.
As I started this podcast in November, whatever, I've gone away from like the podcast that a million people listen to. Like, I'm trying to support local type thing. And when you find a good one, you really stick to it because you're like, oh, like that's awesome. And you want to support them. And I got to say, you're in my top right now. I just can't stop laughing. I can't stop laughing. I was just listening to one. And I am like, I have to tell my husband about like how to melt cheese properly. Like, it was someone you interviewed who was talking about her cookbook. And I was like, oh my gosh, she's throwing out some tips. So
was cool. She was great. Fury, what was her name? Paris was her real name. She was great. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a fun one. Yeah, I was going to go melt some cheese and cook some food that night.
Yeah.
We call it the Prison Pen Pal podcast, but anything that can loosely relate to prison and pen pals, it all ties in kind of to the grand experience of it.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. I highly recommend it. And I'm thoroughly enjoying myself. So I really hope you keep it up. And I really look forward to hearing about more people that are incarcerated and their stories, because it really is eye-opening. So, and you are so good at...
Thank you so much. That's wow, you're making me blush, Jay.
Well, thank you so much for coming on and introducing Luis a little bit. I appreciate your time so much. And
you bet. Great talking to you.
Yeah, you too. Take care. Welcome, Bars and Redemption. So thank you, Bars and Redemption, for coming and joining me today.
And thank you for having me.
I just want to jump right in. Let's talk a little bit about you. If you want to just introduce yourself a little bit and who you are.
What can I say about me? Well, I'm just somebody that's been incarcerated since I was 18. I am now turning 32 on March. I still got about another 15 more years to do, maybe 13 with good time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is it your first prison number?
It's my first actually felony as an adult. I've done juvenile time before, but this is actually the one that really hit me.
We didn't really talk about this, and I'm just genuinely curious, and you don't have to answer, but what was that like, receiving such a long sentence at such a young age?
Well, you know, at that age, you don't really care.
Yeah.
You're so wild and living your own life that you don't really pay attention to the consequences of what you're doing until it's too late.
It didn't really sink in when you were 18?
Yeah, it didn't sink in maybe till 7 years later.
Right. And then you started on this kind of different journey, you'd say like 7 years in, or was it more recent than that?
I started my awakening, I'm going to call it, in 2020. That's really when I actually sat down, because I was in a maximum security cell 24 hours a day, locked in by myself. And that's when I began reading and learning about people's lives. And I was like, man, I want that.
Mm.
And I just kind of woke myself that I could do better and be better than what I was doing.
Yeah. My fiance had a similar kind of experience to you, so that's why I'm asking these kinds of questions. I find it really fascinating, and he says very similar things to you, where he just woke up one day and was, I don't want to be doing the things that I'm doing. He has this whole passion of reform starts with us, and how the people inside that are currently serving sentences need to work on themselves and better themselves so that they're taken more seriously by society.
Yeah, some people just need the time to see what they're doing and how it's affecting their life and how they could do something to change it and become better.
This is kind of weird, but do you ever regret it? Do you ever have moments where you're like, oh, I wish I wasn't on this different path than I was when I was a kid?
That's a good question. You know, something that a lot of people have asked me before. Honestly, I don't think I'll be the person that I am without this sentence.
This amount of time is what made you who you are.
Yes, being able to have the time to actually sit down, learn things and experience and have visions and goals and all that, because who knows where I'll be if I was still out there.
Right. Did you have any mentors in there?
The books are my mentors.
Wow. Are you open to talking a little bit about what you were charged with? Why you got such a long sentence?
Yeah, I was charged with second-degree murder, which was actually something that I pleaded out to because I was still charged with first degree. But, you know, with fighting the case and going to court, I actually got to drop the second degree, and I actually plead out to 30 years to avoid a life sentence because that's what I was looking to give me.
Did you make that decision on your own, or was your family involved?
I think that was my only option I had, and I had to take it. It was either take it that week or go to trial, because my trial was already set to start and everything.
And since you've been in prison and you're on this journey of growth and learning and experience all these different things, what would you say so far has been the most valuable piece of advice you've gotten?
That mind is free even when the body isn't.
I love that.
Yeah.
Did you read that?
I believe I read that in a book called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill.
I'm in the middle of reading that. I haven't finished it yet, but I started it months ago.
Oh, actually, there's something else interesting in that book, because that book talks about people in prison, and it talks about how a woman could change a man's mentality and way of seeing things too.
And do you believe that?
Yes, I believe if a man has a goal and something to look forward to, maybe, then yes, he could go out there and be something different.
When you were incarcerated, were you with someone at the time?
Yes, I was actually dating the mother of my son at that time. We were actually together for like 5 months when I got picked up. She was actually 2 months pregnant.
Oh.
So I kind of had my kid being locked up, and I was with her for a little bit over a year at first. But then, after I plead out to my sentence, just told her to go on with her life because it was her life with me.
That must have been a really hard decision to make.
Yeah, it was a lot of anger, a lot of emotions.
Yeah. And how did she react? Was she upset about it?
Oh, yeah, she was devastated. She didn't want to see it the way I saw it at first, but later in life, she kind of just went her way and started her own family, started her own life.
After that, at what point were you like, maybe I do want to look into these prison relationships. Maybe I do want a female in my life.
I ain't gonna lie, I just did this last year.
No way.
I just joined PenPals.buzz and Write a Prisoner, actually. And from there, that's when I started trying to look for something different. Maybe now that I'm halfway through my sentence, maybe now I see it differently because I don't see it as that long.
After your son's mother, you didn't date anyone else until last year?
Yes.
Wow.
I've been really just involving me, focused on my own personal growth.
And you never really thought about it until last year? And you just thought about it because your sentence, you're halfway done at this point?
Well, I mean, you get lonely sometimes and stuff like that, but I just didn't see myself being fit for one. I didn't see myself being able to control my emotions, and I didn't see being able to actually be fit for one until recently.
Are the guys around you, are they similar to you? Or are you kind of unique in that way that you were single for so long?
I mean, everybody has different sentences. I think guys that have life sentences with, wives and stuff, and I think guys that are going to go home in the next year and have nobody. So it's kind of give or take on who it is and what they want out of life.
Right. And when you signed yourself up last year on these two sites, what was your goal? Like, what were you looking for? Were you looking for a short term? Were you looking for a long-term partner? Like, what were you thinking when you put yourself in that vulnerable position?
Well, I was really just looking to meet people, tell them my story, hopefully help them, because, one of my goals is to become a coach. I saw it more as a professional way. I didn't expect nobody to just start seeing me that way. Sometimes things work out.
What was it like when you posted yourself? Were you nervous?
Yes, I'm not going to lie, because I didn't know what the response was going to be. I didn't know how people see me.
And what was it like?
I got a lot of responses. I'm not going to lie. I got a lot of responses. But honestly, being somebody that reads so much, I became very picky now. Like, I'm very, very picky of who I give my time to, who I talk to. I got to see goals, visions, and stuff like that. Because I can't just be with somebody that have no visions or no goals in their lives.
Right. Did you find it difficult when you first started?
Yes, this is a very difficult thing.
And I guess everyone's going to be wondering, did you have any level of success yet?
Yeah, I have met a few people, had a few conversations. A lot of women I have met through those websites told me because they're lonely and because, pretty much they run out of options out there, which is crazy to me.
You know what? Pause for a minute. The men that are in the real world outside, there's just so many not good ones. I don't know.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I've been with my fiance now for a year and he actually has a life sentence and it's not anything that I anticipated doing or having in my life. I think he relates to you because he's really well read. That's how we connected. We started reading books together. It developed into something more, but at the beginning that was just not at all what I was looking for was a relationship. And nobody that I know really can relate to the level of respect and appreciation that he has for me.
We learn to appreciate people in here, because out there we take a lot of things for granted.
I agree. And there's not as much distraction, I find. You're not out doing all these things and stressed out and whatnot. How did you kind of weed out people? Did you ask certain questions? Did you come up with strategy, or you just could feel what they were like and just thought they weren't connected to you?
Yeah, I just asked a lot of questions and I read a lot of response. To me, it's more about the response, not on exactly what they say, but how they say it.
Is there someone that you've established and had the most meaningful connection with?
I could say I did. I had a few people that I'm very friendly with nowadays, and hopefully when I get out, I'm still friendly with them. I don't know where that relationship will go, but there's a lot of people that I learned that there's good people out there that got a good heart and a good mind. And sometimes they just need a friend who's different and who wants to understand them and who just listens.
Yeah. Were you worried at all about your charge when you were talking to them?
No, I always been very peaceful with my life. To me, that's just a mistake I made in my life. It's a chapter of my life, and I'm happy to share it with people, and hopefully they can learn something from it.
If you ever were in a serious relationship, if you did get into it, would you think about deactivating those profiles? And the reason I ask is AJ and I disagree on this. His friends, even inside, they'd be like, why does Jay not care? Why is Jay letting you just do that? That's so weird. Because Jay's just looking for a reason to leave me, you know? Like, Jay's like, so it's like a running joke. I'm also really a secure person, but there's not a lot of people that are that secure. So if that conversation came up, how do you feel about having that profile?
Well, that's a good one. You know, I believe if the relationship is serious, yeah, why not take it down? But at the same time, a penpal website is not just to look for love. It's to look for more than that.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good place to network. Pretty much it's the only place to network for a lot of people because not everybody have way of communication. And sometimes they just maybe looking for somebody to help them with their case or want to get closer to God or anything. So it could be different goals. Now, I understand if it's profiles, says something about looking for a specific type of women or something, then yeah, you should at least change the information on it. But that's something you really need to talk to your partner about and discuss really in details how it could help and how it could, you know.
Do you think it's possible, in your opinion, to have a monogamous committed relationship with someone that you met while incarcerated through those sites?
Yeah, I think anything is possible.
And what do you think are some of the most important aspects of that relationship for you?
Oh, loyalty. And loyalty is more than love to me. Loyalty is everything. So it's just really just being honest with that person and telling them exactly what your goal is and don't try to sugarcoat nothing or hide nothing from them.
And how do you feel about trust? Do you think that you'd have struggled with trusting someone on the outside that you've only met while you were incarcerated you didn't know from before?
I mean, no, I think when you start meeting the person, you start seeing how they are, reading them, understanding them.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think you should start by not trusting somebody because that right there, you're starting already on the negative side. Now, if the person gives you a lot of reasons for you not to trust them, and there you go. But don't ever start with just saying, I don't trust nobody.
So you trust them a little bit before.
Yeah, I will learn about them, read them, understand how they think, how they move.
I don't know where you are. There are certain states that are more scammy, for lack of a better word, than others, where the men are more inclined to be dating these women or finding these women so that they buy them stuff and help them with stuff. Have you seen that around you?
Like I said, it really depends on the individual because there's ways to survive in here. There's ways to actually help out there. There's actually ways to move together, think together, and maybe start businesses and things so your future could be a lot better. So it really depends on the individual, or how he thinks and how he moves.
If you could give some women advice that are interested maybe in going on Write a Prisoner or trying to learn about someone who's currently incarcerated, is there any advice that you would give to them?
Yeah, it's actually an article I wrote about that.
Oh, really? Where?
It's on the blog on penpal.buzz.
Okay.
To me, it's actually about just not sugarcoating nothing and just being upfront with what you want, what your goal is. And hopefully the guy's in a good mental state that gives you the same energy back because I'm not going to lie, not everybody's on the same energy.
So what was that website again, just for people that are curious in reading the article you wrote?
penpals.buzz.
On that note, have you ever had any kind of negative experiences with a pen pal?
Not in that way. Like everything, there's a lot of women that write and then out of nowhere they just stop writing for whatever reason. But I don't take it personal and I don't see it as a negative thing. You know, maybe they had their reasons or maybe they found something that's not what they want.
So you just had ghosting?
Yes.
For me personally, just given the situation and our circumstances, we were just pen pals for a very long time. We only talked on the phone after 4 or 5 months. In your opinion, do you think that people should get on the phone right away? Do you want to talk to them right away? Do you want to be pen pals with them right away? What do you think is better in that circumstance to get to know someone?
I think a letter is more personal. It's a lot more personal. You get to take your time, read it. And it's good to actually learn to meet somebody through those letters before you get on the phone call, because by the time you get on the phone call, you can actually see if those words match with his voice.
It's funny you say that because my fiance was saying in one of his experiences, he said that talking to someone on messaging and then when he talked to them on the phone, they were completely different. And he's like, this person that was portrayed a certain way, portrayed themselves a certain way on Messenger, on the phone, they just were completely different. And he kind of felt not fooled, but he was surprised at how different they were on the phone.
Yes, so that's why I think it's better to, I want to say take that I would do 4 months, 3 months, write letters because the letters takes a minute to get there anyway. So you could change at least 5, 6 letters before you get on the phone call.
Have you had that experience where you've called them?
Personally, I don't get nervous or shy. I'm an open person, and like I said, I'm trying to be a coach when I get out. So I'm trying to work on public speaking and all that stuff. So,
what kind of coach do you want to be?
Relationship coach.
Oh, what made you want to do that?
That's mostly what I read. I read a lot of books like Men Are from Mars, Women Are from Venus, and the 5 Love Languages and stuff like that. So those books got me really seeing how relationships could become better.
And have you practiced yet?
Yes, I have helped a couple of guys here write letters and become better. I let them borrow a couple books so they could actually better their relationship, understand women better, and how to deal with that toxic part sometimes.
Right. Sometimes. How does it feel? That must be a cool feeling when you help someone like that.
Yeah, it's a different feeling. It makes you feel like you're giving back to society.
Absolutely. So, do you want to talk to me a little bit more about Bars and Redemption? Is that what it's about?
Yes. At first, I started as a way to just show people what prison is like, but I ended up moving to something that is beyond that.
And now it's more focused on relationships and coaching?
Well, right now, I'm trying to show people what prison life is a little like, and I'm trying to teach guys in here how to help financially by themselves, little things like setting up stores where they can actually sell their commissary for a little money, help the guys that don't have ways to get their money put in their books, but their family wants to help them somehow. I haven't really focused on my Instagram yet on relationships because I haven't really put a plan on how to do it, but I'm working on that. That's my next step, though.
Cool. Where did you come up with the name Bars and Redemption?
That's a good question. I was really just going to name it Redemption, but I had to fix it where it would come from, and the only thing that people could think of prison is bars. So I had to just add the word bars.
That makes sense, though. And when you're elaborating on this relationship coaching, are you focusing on guys that are inside, or are you also wanting to coach women who are looking to be better in their relationships?
Well, the relationship part is more for women out there, how to understand us and how to help us. Because the first thing they think is, how can I help you? How can I send you money? But to me, that's not the right thing. The right thing is, how can I help you? What book do you need that you actually need in your life? Or what do you want to do in your life that I could help you become that person?
I love that. And if a woman came to you and was worried about her relationship, or she felt that he was being sneaky, or she wasn't sure what was going on, she was disconnected from him and he was on the inside, what would you recommend for her?
Well, understand him first, because men, sometimes they just go in their cave, and sometimes they just need a moment to come out, and you can't just baby them, because if you baby them, you're just going to push them into the cave even more deeper. So sometimes you just gotta let them come out of their cave, understand why was they being different or how are they being different, and help them by just let them be them.
So would you say, like, give them space?
I wouldn't say give them space, but learn to understand how he is.
Right.
As a man, because men are different than women in a lot of ways. So I know women sometimes, when they have a problem, what they want to do is talk about it. Men are the opposite. We actually shut down about it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. So you were mentioning about, like, babying them. So would you say not to send money, or what do you mean by babying?
Yeah, I mean, like, sometimes a woman just got a good heart and they want to help, but they don't know how to help. And the first thing they think is like, oh, let me send him 50, let me help him that way. But to me, that's not really helping a man, because a man needs more than money just to be helped. Sometimes he needs guidance, sometimes he needs, and he ain't going to tell you. He will never tell you that, because we are proud people. We are very close people that don't like to be like, oh, we ain't work.
Yeah. I find it hard sometimes to be vulnerable. Like, I feel like you guys are in such a hard environment that being emotional and being vulnerable in your relationship, I feel like it's kind of hard sometimes for women to get their men to open up. Do you have any advice for them on how to get you out of your shell and be more vulnerable, be more open?
That's something that is very hard, because men are not going to open up to a woman like that. Even though they love her, that's her life, that's her wife, they've been dating for years, I mean, it's going to be hard for us to open, because we're not used to that. We open up to somebody, it means that we're not doing our job and we don't know how to do our job and we need help. And sometimes we don't like that, because, like I said, we're proud people. So we're we are the opposite of just talking about our problems.
Right. So it's like a sign of weakness for you guys.
Yes, I would rather a woman just understand him. Don't push him too hard. Don't ask too many questions. If he's going through it, let him go through it on his own. He will eventually come out of it and tell you. If he doesn't tell you, then eventually he will tell you.
Fair. And something else that I also found really interesting is that because it's a different dynamic, like I don't know how you find it, but for me, being in this type of relationship, because he's in prison, he can't do things that I'm used to, like going out and taking me out for dinner or like taking the snow off my car or whatever. And those things that really make you masculine and make you like the provider and all those quote unquote generic type masculine roles that people have in a relationship. And it's kind of not really possible in a lot of ways when your man is incarcerated. How do you create that dynamic so that the person who's inside can still feel masculine, can still feel like he's the provider or he's the leader? What do you think about that?
Sometimes it's hard because we in here, we can't help y'all, and our thoughts go crazy sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But if you could find a way for him to become a provider some type of way, it could be something small. It don't have to be something big. That will actually fill him up. It wouldn't fill him up all the way, but it would fill him up a little bit.
Mm-hmm. So like help him with a side hustle or something.
Yes, something. You know, if he knows how to draw, help him start his own website where he could make at least a few hundreds a month or something to help you with the bills or whatever, or anything that makes him feel like he's given to your life.
Mm-hmm. So where do you see this Bars and Redemption going in the next few years? What's your vision of where it's going to go?
Hopefully I could get some books out there for y'all and become kind of bigger on the way of views and stuff so I could help more people.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't really thought of it on the long term, but on the next 5 years, like you said, those are my main tools. You know, hopefully I could get at least 2 books out there, one for women and one for the guys inside, and then hopefully I could get some type of clients I could work with and actually help them become better in their relationship.
And if there was one thing that you would want women to understand about guys that are incarcerated, what do you think that you would want us to know that you don't think we would know?
And here we go through a lot of emotions. And here we go through a lot of anger, a lot of happiness, sadness. I mean, the emotions are everywhere in here. And we're not really emotional creatures.
Yeah.
So sometimes you just got to understand that he's not going to be his best self every time. Sometimes he's going to be completely different. And if you really love this person, you're going to understand him when he is, and you're going to learn how to deal with that side of him until he's able to actually be back out there and be next to you.
Mm-hmm. And do you think that that changes when a man is in a relationship versus when he's not in there? Do you see changes in them? Like, do you find that you change, or the guys around you when they start dating someone new? Like, how does it affect their life positively?
Oh, yeah. You know, guys in relationships don't want to get in trouble because they don't want to lose that visit. They don't want to lose those phone calls. Guys in relationships are less likely to get in trouble with other guys in here that are not in a relationship.
Huh. Interesting. So I think you're going to like this question. How do you feel about the states that have conjugals versus the states that don't? How do you think that it would make a difference in your life if you guys had the ability to have conjugal visits?
I think that would be very helpful for everybody, really. I wish every state had them because that actually gives you the knowledge to learn how to deal with it as a family man, how to be a family man. It will actually train you to deal with things, you know, being able to be with your significant other on the weekend or anything, or even a day. And the violence, I think the violence will go down automatically because who would want to lose that? Who would want to be with their family on the weekend, you know?
100%. I've always wondered about that. My significant other is not in a state with conjugals, but like California, for example, is always like the one that everybody knows about and talks about. And I've always wondered, because I've heard California prisons are quite dangerous and there's a lot and whatever, but then at the same time they have conjugals. So I've always wondered if it actually does affect the violence in there.
Compared to other states, I believe they do. I believe, yeah. I mean, every prison is dangerous at the end of the day, but if you really compare it to other states that don't have conjugal visits, you're going to see that they're less violent than other states, actually.
And I would really be curious about your input on women that are dating men that maybe are not on the right track and they're trying to help them be on the right track. Oftentimes, like, you see stuff in groups and whatnot of like, oh, my man went to the hole, or he's fighting, or he's doing all these things. What advice would you give them to try and help them guide their man in the right direction? Is there something that we can do from the outside, or do you really feel that it's a totally personal thing for these guys to want to change?
Yeah, I think it's a personal thing. You know, you can't help what doesn't want to help, what doesn't want to be helped, and you can't really change a person. As much as we would like to, we can't change nobody.
Yeah, you're right. So you think that there's really nothing we could do?
Yeah, sometimes you just got to give them that tough love, and hopefully they see it before it's too late.
Is there anything else that you want to share about Bars and Redemption and what you're doing and who you are? I think that you have a lot of really good insights, and I think you've grown a lot in probably the years. From what you said, who I'm talking to right now is probably very different from the 18-year-old you.
Oh, yeah.
Is there anything else you want to share about either Bars and Redemption or yourself?
Well, anybody that wants to look at my work, they could just go to my Instagram and just type Bars and Redemption. And really, everything I share in there is a little bit of me, personal books, you know, life inside, tips, quotes, anything. So mainly that's where you'll see a lot of me in there.
Nice. And are you open to having women reach out to you through there if they are looking to maybe get some coaching?
Yes, I am open. They could come and contact me, let me know the type of problems they're having, and I'll be happy to help.
It's very nice of you. So for everyone out there who's listening right now, if you are currently having some relationship issues and need some advice and would like to have some coaching services by Bars and Redemption, as he said, feel free to reach out to him on Instagram, and your handle's at Bars and Redemption.
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate your time. I appreciate you taking the time to talk to me and kind of give that opposite perspective. I think it's really important.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, we don't get to do it a lot. So I appreciate you connecting with us.
For sure, it was a lot of fun, and thank you for having me.
You're welcome, and I wish you all the best with Bars and Redemption, and you'll have to keep me updated on if you get some people to help, because I think you could do a wonderful job.
Okay, yeah, for sure. I'll let you know.
All right, and with that, thank you so much again, and until next time, bye.